welcome all of you here today and tell you first of all how honored I am to be a participant in this ceremony. I have attended some before and I'm always so impressed with the presentations and the quality of the people that are here. I want to say a special word to the Griffith family. Thank you for being here, and our hearts go out to you. We're honored to have you in our presence as well. I just want to take a moment to say that. All my life I've been surrounded by law enforcement. My mother's brother was a state patrol officer. As a child, he would come home sometimes from being on duty, and I admired his uniform. And he went on to be the bodyguard for Governors Maddox and Sanders and others came up after that and head of the State Building Authority. My father's oldest brother was a state patrol officer as well, and I admired him. When I became a judge, Judge Martin Sauls from Walton County, another county in our circuit, many of you may know that his father was the sheriff in Walton County, and he was killed back in, I think it was in the early 1960s, when he went to the door to address a domestic dispute involving people that he knew, and the man came to the door and shot him and killed him at the door there. Judge Sauls, one of the first things he told me was that it was my uncle that went in and apprehended the man who was barricaded inside the house and brought him out to be arrested. And I never knew that until he told me that. My wife's brother was an Atlanta City policeman. He was a top marksman for the city of Atlanta, went on to be a special agent with the GBI, and one of the top security officers with the Coca-Cola Company. I'm telling you this because they all had my deepest respect as I grew up as a young man and on into adulthood. And I actually got along with my in-laws, and my brother-in-law was greatly admired by me because of the position that he held. As an attorney, I practiced law on the square here for several years. I've handled different types of cases. There may be criminal cases, there may be domestic disputes or automobile accidents. But whenever I was involved in a case, the first thing that I would do is go to the deputy, because I knew that I would get the truth. I knew that I would get, he or she would be straight up with me, and it helped me a great deal in representing my clients and being able to really assess the case that I was dealing with there. I've been a judge since December 20th of 1995, and when I take the bench, I am comforted to look around the room and to see the bailiffs who are on duty there. They're trained, they're members of this sheriff's department, and it is their duty to maintain order, to protect the public, and to protect me in the court setting there. And I see deputies testify. They're well prepared, they present themselves well, they tell the truth, and they stand up strong under cross-examination in the trials there. When I've also had to review warrant applications on my kitchen table when deputies would come to me at midnight, and I don't mind a bit because I admire them. I know the job that they're doing, and it's a privilege for me to be involved in the process with them there. So what I'm saying is you have my deepest respect, and I want you to understand that that respect is not just for the uniform or for how you present yourself. Although they are important, my respect is for what is inside of you, and that is your heart. Because you have a heart that places the welfare of others ahead of its own. You have a heart that serves and does not seek to be served. You have a heart that is vigilant and stands ready to protect the weak and the innocent and to bring the guilty to justice. And I want to personally thank each of you for your dedication, your integrity, your service, and yet your sacrifice.
I come from the agency within the U.S. Department of State that actually coordinates the action of sending American policemen overseas. And in the last 16 years, we've actually coordinated about 10,000 American police officers who have served overseas in different missions, from Bosnia to Kosovo to Haiti, Liberia, East Timor, South Sudan, on and on. 1,000 American policemen are today serving the United States government overseas. So it's important that you know that why you're the son of this area did what he did, and why he did it, and why countless American policemen who have always responded to the call for service. The call is essentially the same. As the judge had very eloquently explained, and the many, many stories that you have heard and will hear of American officers, deputies, serving their community, it is the same call that pulls our American officers to want to provide that service overseas. And essentially that's it. It is a great sense, a great requirement that we have in helping to develop foreign nations, their capacity, so that we don't have to go there. And secondly, when we are there in conflict environments like Iraq and Afghanistan, it also helps us get our troops out sooner. So at the end of the day, the service that you provide here to your community is the same service and the same requirement that we have in sending officers overseas. I was in Iraq with Joe. I've served many other places overseas. And clearly, and when I looked at Joe's record and I saw his service, not only his service to his community here, but his service to the U.S. military, his service in Kosovo, his service in Liberia, his service in Iraq, and then his service in Afghanistan. And then we reached out to some of his partners from some of the different entities, those missions, and they all said the same thing. What an amazing individual, what an amazing trainer. And man, if we had more like him, we could do so much more, on and on and on. So be proud, be very proud that the son of the soil in Newton County, and your relative, your husband, your brother, your son, was such an individual that they provide such a service to so many places around the world. And it's like the lieutenant said, he made a difference, and lives have been saved.
We're here today to honor the memory of Joseph Randall Griffin, a member of the DI family who lost his life in an attack that occurred in Kabul, Afghanistan on December 24, 2012. Representatives of Joe's family are here together so that we can honor that service, sacrifice, and bravery that he showed in supporting his colleagues, the Department of Defense, and the people of Afghanistan. Thank you for being here for today's ceremony. Well, I'm sure this is incredibly difficult for you. We are here to recognize the dedication that Joe showed in his work to support the mission, to celebrate the friendships that he forged with his colleagues at his time with DI and here in the community. As a service corporation, DynCorp International, people are our most important asset. Our dedicated personnel serve on the front lines alongside our customers, all for one purpose, a better tomorrow. Joseph Griffin shared that purpose and was part of that mission, working to bring the people of Afghanistan a better tomorrow. He had a profound and lasting impact on our company, and his name is engraved on a wall in remembrance located at our corporate headquarters. His name is alongside 70 other members of DynCorp International who have made the ultimate sacrifice in supporting our customers. For those who are not familiar with our company or what Joe was doing in Afghanistan, Joe is a member of the Afghanistan Ministry of Interior National Police Training Program, also called the AMDP program. This program is incredibly important to the coalition forces and the people of Afghanistan. Through this program, Afghanistan is building a law enforcement capability that will support peace for generations to come. Programs like this support international peacekeeping operations, help train and mentor police forces that are in countries emerging from conflict. Their presence promotes peace and stability, much of what you've heard already today, and help train the local forces to establish rule of law and support good governance, the tenets of what we try to do as a police officer. While no award or recognition can ease the loss we feel in Joe's absence, on behalf of the entire DynCorp International family, it's my privilege to be here today to honor Joe Griffin with our company's highest honor, the DynCorp International Chairman's Purple Star Award. I was not fortunate enough to have known Joe during his life. The stories of commitment and service absolutely endure. He served his country in the U.S. Army, he served his community here with the Newton County Sheriff's Department, and he served the police forces in other areas that we've already heard. It takes a special person to be a law enforcement professional in the United States and internationally. Joe was one of those people. It requires the ability to balance compassion and concern necessary to protect people's lives and property with the discipline, fairness, and equality to enforce the law. It takes patience, a humble nature, and a selflessness not often seen in today's world. Joe had all these characteristics. For all of the good that he brought into the world, today we honor Joseph Randall Griffin with the Chairman's Purple Star Award. And I'd like to ask Renee to step forward and accept this award on his behalf.
Again, I want to thank you for coming out today. I will not continue to dwell on this ceremony today because I do not want to take anything away from you. Those of you who have achieved the awards and certificates, I want to say to you how much we appreciate your service with the Newton County Sheriff's Office. And because of your service with the Newton County Sheriff's Office, we will never be the same again. Thank you for your service.
On behalf of the citizens of the 4th Congressional District of the great state of Georgia, I wanted to recognize the impact of Joseph Griffin on the community and on the state, on the country, and in the world, throughout the world. And so this proclamation, which is a U.S. citizen of distinction, I would like to read to you. And it states, whereas former Newton County Deputy Mr. Joseph Randall Griffin is today in a special Newton County Sheriff's Department ceremony being honored posthumously with the DynCorp International Chairman's Purple Star, the highest honor the company can bestow on a team member. And whereas Joseph Randall Griffin served our nation with honor in the United States military as a Newton County Sheriff's Deputy and in other police departments in Florida and Georgia, and as a DynCorp International team member working to support the Afghan Ministry of Defense program by providing mentoring and training services to the Afghan National Police. And whereas Mr. Griffin was a valued team member at DynCorp, but also left a stellar record as a deputy in Newton County, where he commanded the respect and admiration of his colleagues. And whereas the U.S. representative of the 4th District of Georgia recognizes Mr. Joseph Randall Griffin as a citizen of great worth and so noted distinction, now therefore I, Henry C. Hank Johnson, Jr., do hereby attest to the 113th Congress that Mr. Joseph Randall Griffin is deemed worthy and deserving of this congressional honor by declaring that Mr. Joseph Randall Griffin is a United States citizen of distinction in the 4th Congressional District of Georgia, proclaimed this 21st day of February 2014, and this proclamation will be entered into the records of the U.S. House of Representatives for posterity.
Joe, and I guess when I think back, I remember him as a sharp individual, a law enforcement tactician who always seemed to handle cases with ease and willingness to undertake the unknown, a teacher who instructed others in matters of law enforcement. He is, by every definition, an American hero. Joe Griffin was one of those individuals who possessed extraordinary traits of selfless concern for the well-being of others, even at the expense of his own existence. As I said, he was a hero. Qualities associated with heroes are determination, loyalty, courage, dedication, valor, selflessness, conviction, gallery, and the will to make sacrifice. Joe Griffin posed all of these qualities. He was a hero. No one person was ever honored for what he or she received. Honor has been the reward for what you give. Again, to Joe's family, we thank you. Joe will forever be a part of us, and the family, you will always be in our hearts. I want to thank the Sheriff's Office again, Courtney, and all of you who put this program together, and especially for recognizing Joe and being a part of recognizing everyone with the Newton County Sheriff's Office. Again, let's give all of you a round of applause.